What's good, everybody? This is Team Final Boss featuring Picante this time for pretty much forming together to become Team Final Pepper. Here I have, he can introduce himself. What's your name and what'd you do?
Hey, I'm Tony. We bubbled day 2 at the 3v3 YCS, and yeah, I just attacked people.
So, what was this deck that was just attacking people?
So we played some Spright cards and then some attack cards. So
Let's get into it.
Played 3 jet, 3 blue, 3 starter,
The ulties, though.
a smasher. So it's all pretty standard there. And I played 3 red and 3 carrot as well. I played these two.
How'd you like those?
They were really good, specifically for going second. Played around a lot of nibs and hand traps, and this hit a lot of the branded cards and won me a lot of games. Honorary Spright cards are the nimble cards. Since we decided we were attacking, I played 3 beaver, 3 angler, 3 sunfish.
Definitely gonna have to expound on that one for everybody.
I'm sure everybody saw the last attack deck where people were going into mosquito in the last format. I kind of wanted to build off that with this deck. There's a lot of times where this card by itself and 2 level 2s just ended the game. So I kind of just tried to continue on with that kind of mentality because we didn't lose anything really crazy for the attack version of this for going second.
Yep.
So that's the main like little engine there.
Yep, still a good engine.
So then for interaction and hand traps, I played 3 nib. I didn't think very many people would be on it this week, so I didn't think people would be playing around it either. It actually won me a fair amount of games. I played the book package here with Eclipse and Lunar Eclipse. Lunar
How
Eclipse.
was Lunar?
It's particularly good when you can discard an angler off of it. Other than that, the book cards felt a little medium, but sometimes you just need them to play through the cache board. And then we played 3 Jizakuru.
Yo.
I could not play Lava Golem, sadly, so the Jizakuru is mine. And since we are attacking and they take their attack damage, giving them 33 means 3 attacks ends the game.
Yep.
So that's the interaction / hand traps. And then for a little bit of spiciness that we tried out, I played a small, or I guess a medium Mikanko engine. People had
Tell the people more about this one.
so you actually just equip this to their monster, and if they don't interact with it, it returns it to hand, summoning this guy who gets Rondo, which is a snatch steal. So this pretty much always baits a negate, and if it did not, it outed their whole board. The other reason why I played this deck is that the Mikanko cards, when they're equipped, say that you take the damage from the attack as well. So attacking into a Jizakuru with a mosquito on board means you would take 6,600 damage. So a lot of the time this was enough to just end the game by itself with one other monster.
Yep.
Also, the Mikanko engine has a neat little side where you can play the other Mikanko main deck, which is the side deck, to have a quick effect snatch steal on their turn, so the cards aren't even dead going first.
Very cool.
And I'll do extra deck.
And so how big was the main deck?
So I played 45 cards. It was pretty hard to cut cards because of the nimble package. Everything played pretty well. I think I'm pretty happy with most of it. The Book of Lunar Eclipses maybe need to change, and the Rondo might have been a little bit more than I needed because a lot of people were just interacting with the normal equip spell. But other than that, it felt pretty good. A lot of the extra cards I played were the additional Spright monsters, and they just came up a lot for being able to just play through boards because a lot of people don't expect you to just start summoning them without searching them. All right, do extra deck. So I played a bunch of 2-ofs in my extra deck because, Unicorn exists. So I played 2 Zeus because Zeus is outs every board right now. I expected a lot more Iblee locking, which my deck doesn't super hate, but with interaction on top, it's rough. So I played 2 Lingerubo. It actually never came up for me, but I feel like it's just a card you have to play. I played 2 Mannequin Cat.
This card.
2 Gigantic Spright. 2 Spright Sprint. And then the best card in the deck probably, 2 Ninja Shadow Mosquito. I probably had about half of my opponents read the card like 6 times. So that's how you know it's a decent card. And then for my 1-ofs, I played a Phoenix, a Cerberus, and a Dark. The Dark and the Cerberus never actually came up, but I felt like they were just good cards to have as individual ones. So that's just the whole extra deck. I think if I would go back and play, I'd probably play, I'd probably cut a Lingaribu and maybe the Cerberus. I think the Dark is still good for some other just like more generic pieces. But everything seemed pretty good. I didn't want to get unicorned out and lose what I needed to and lose a game because of it.
Yep.
And then side deck.
And that just leaves the side deck.
So for the side deck, I was aware that the trap deck was decent, and I think Lightning Storm is also pretty good against Brandon. A lot of the times my deck doesn't have too big of a problem with the monsters on the field, but the back row Beast and Regained and Friends can get very frustrating very quick. So I sided 3 of those. An obvious one is I sided D barriers.
Yup.
Just skips a turn. My deck, as long as everything else, loses to all the Book of Moon cards and Dark Holes and stuff like that. So I sided 3 Judgments. This card probably won me 5 or 6 games throughout the day when they would tell me to go first. And then I very heavily sided for going first. I had a double cross, and then I had the other Mikanko card that is a quick effect, Snatch Steal, and also deals the damage.
Did that one come up for you any?
The quick effect one came up a lot. I will say the giving them Iblee, which you will see here was another side, giving them Iblee and then snatch stealing whatever they have to summon off of to try to link it away is just the end of the game most times. And then even with double cross to back it up, I actually was a lot of the time giving them Iblee, snatch stealing whatever they summoned, and then when they would go battle phase to try to crash it into me, I would double cross my own sprint away with everything else in defense, so they were just stuck with Iblee on the field. The other cards I sided were just Mannequin Cat targets. I played the Errant Newman. I actually didn't play any decks that this did anything against, so it just stayed my side the whole time. I sided a End of Anubis to try to help me out with the branded matchup. It was okay, but it got super polyed pretty much every time, so that's rough. And then I summoned a Chaos Hunter, which actually won me a few games on its own, because thankfully it's good to draw as well.
So overall, what'd you think of the deck?
I think the deck did a whole lot better than it had any right to. I think I played 4 branded matchups and 2 or 3 cash matchups, and it was I wouldn't say it was an easy matchup per se, but it caught a lot of people off guard and won me a lot of games because people didn't know what I was doing. So the deck felt great. I think it's still probably fine as long as there's not too much gimmick puppet in the format. But other than that, I think the deck ran pretty insane, and yeah, a lot of people didn't know what I was doing.
And I guess to close it out, got any shout outs?
Shout out my friends that came with me from Team Final Boss, Ira and Alex. Shout out Matt, who top 16, and shout out my store, Picante.
Well, thank you for the profile. Have a good day, everyone. Final Boss out.